Good evening. Welcome to the June Canyon Country Advisory Committee meeting. As always, you can follow us on Facebook or check out our website. Please remember also that this meeting facility is provided to us as a public service by the Mint Canyon Moose Lodge and its members. The Lodge does a lot of really great things. They sponsor both a children's and a retirement community. And you can follow the Moose Lodge on Facebook also, and I'll make sure that you get the link to that. But specifically and most importantly is that food is now returned to the third Wednesday of the month. So that's our favorite chef, Chef Gloria. She cooks lunch here during the week and dinner here on certain evenings. So come early and have dinner in the lounge. And I just talked to her, and she's now going to be starting to serve dinner at 5 p.m. If you're not a Moose member, you can sign in as my guest. And, of course, remember, I can always give you an application and sponsor you. We'll always have some tables set up in the back, so if you arrive late and you still want to eat, you'll be able to have some place to enjoy your dinner. I think everybody saw tonight's menu. I talked to some of the members here that came early and ate, and they thought it was excellent, and Gloria does a great job. And normally, I'll be checking with her every Wednesday before the meeting as to what the menu is. But knowing Gloria, normally by the time you get here, the menu will have been expanded. So you'll see it on the door, and she'll make anything that she has the fixings for. Tonight will be our normal call to order. We'll have a flag salute, approve the minutes of the last meeting, and then we're going to meet Deputy Carr, who's our new Canyon Country Enforcement Zone Officer. He'll tell us a little bit about what he does, and you can ask him some questions if you like. Then Mayor Frank Ferry is here, and Mayor Ferry also will be giving us a little talk about Canyon Country, and then he will answer your questions from the audience. Now, last night I actually made a change in what I had planned for this evening because, as it turns out, there's a code enforcement survey on the web, and the code enforcement survey has to be completed by early next month. And it ties together with UDC changes that are going through the planning, or were actually being completed in planning. And I went to the Planning Commission study session yesterday, and they talked about it. So we need to go make sure that code enforcement is performing and doing the service that we believe it should. And we're going to talk about that tonight. And maybe Mayor Ferry will stick around and listen to it as well. Then a real brief discussion of what happened at the Special City Council meeting for high-speed rail, then our version of public participation, the June meeting preview, and then the meeting will adjourn. You know, this has been the month where we've seen Memorial Day go by, and 4th of July is coming up, and it just happened that we have two gentlemen here in Santa Clarita, Bill Reynolds and Stan Cockerell, who were in Vietnam 45 years ago. And on June the 19th, Bill and Stan's Army unit battled a large Viet Cong force 13 miles south of Saigon. At the end of that day, 47 brave troopers gave their ultimate sacrifice. 4 Huey helicopters were shot down, scores were wounded, and the Viet Cong left over 250 fighters dead on the battlefield. Both Bill and Stan, for that day, earned a Bronze Star, and that Bronze Star was awarded to them just last week. And it proves that there are heroes among us in every walk of life and have done great things to help preserve our freedom. So with that, Mr. Natoli, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
All servicemen and veterans, they render a right-hand salute, and all others in uniform. And if you'll follow me by placing your hand over your heart and saying, I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated.
For announcements tonight, the first one is about the Community Preservation Survey, so that if anybody is leaving early, I wanted to make sure that they knew it existed. I'll be sending out the link to everybody with the video links. It's important that you get on there and do that survey. We'll talk about it in a lot more depth later. But it turns around and talks about that the survey results are going to help the city refine the community preservation ordinances, which are designed to preserve the aesthetic value of Santa Clarita neighborhoods. And so we need to make sure that what they are going to do as far as changing ordinances is what our community wants. And we'll talk about that in great depth. But I also want you to know that community preservation in a lot of cases does a lot of great things. I know Bob Mesa is here. This came off of his site from No Mercy Hills. Talks about a burned out house on the corner of Winterdale and Nearview. And they had notified community preservation because it had a great number of problems. And so last week, Community Preservation posted a notice of hearing, a public nuisance property on the property. That same day, they had a crew come out, knock the weeds down in the front. Vector Control went in to address the mosquito concerns in the pool and the spa. And the public nuisance property hearing was scheduled for today. So while community preservation is most known in our area for code enforcement, they have a lot of other things that they do. And those 6 individuals really have a big job in front of them. The Santa Clarita Enterprise Zones, I put this up because it's one of our or at least my pet peeve, and that is that on July the 1st, the Enterprise Zone will be increasing their processing fee for all applications, for hiring tax credit voucher applications. And the new fee increase is going to be based on the Consumer Price Index. And I know that everybody in this audience realizes that they're going to have to pay for certain services. And when the price of services go up, well, they're probably going to have to pay a little bit more. But when the justification is just that the Consumer Price Index went up, one seems to wonder if we're just increasing prices because we can. And so we've talked about that. We've discussed it with some of the city staff about providing better justifications just to give us confidence that prices are going up because they need to and not just because they can. Now, the Canyon Country Merchants Association has formed about a month or a month and a half ago. If any of you are business owners here in Canyon Country or know business owners here in Canyon Country, it would be really great for them to contact the Canyon Country Merchants Association, which is forming. It's going to be a subcommittee of the chamber. And they are looking to give Canyon Country its own major event. Now, this was just the first pass. This is just someone threw this out and said, man, what about Canyon Country Rocks? And a lot of guys said, hey, that's really great. So Doug Sutton's artist went and drew this up and passed it around. So this is just the first pass. And you may find that this is going to change. But what's going to happen is it's a new project. It's going to be a major event here in Canyon Country. It's going to be planned and advertised, and we're hoping that it's going to happen next summer. So we're going to keep you posted. But it's something that Canyon Country should be proud of. Lastly is our 4th of July parade float. Boy, I tell you, we had a great time last year. I'm looking forward to a great time this year. We got that same truck that's sitting in the back. We bring it over to the area in Newhall in the morning. We decorate it right there. People meet us. We ride around the parade route. Had a great time. So if you'd like to join us on the 4th of July parade float, just sign up in the back with Merle. so I can know to let you know exactly what time and where we're going to meet that day. And we're getting all ready. We still have flags. We've got more decorations. And this year we're going to have some music. Attendance figures, we're keeping a track of. We're continuing to track attendance. It was down a little last month. I can see it's a little bit. It's come up a little bit this month, and we track it against who's here, what activities occurred, and then look to see if we can provide you with information that you're interested in. As you might guess, those spikes are all candidate forums during the election time. And also, we track video statistics. Views the first time, we usually hit views the first time against views after the fact. So the first month is in blue, and then who comes back and looks at it again is in red. And again, those big spikes are related to the first one, rather the last one. The last big spike is related to candidate forum. All right, for the next meeting in July, we'll talk about the 4th of July parade. We're going to talk a little about selective code enforcement in Canyon Country, because one of the things that they say they absolutely do not want to do is selective enforcement. We'll have a chloride update by then, because the EIR process will have had some more EIR meetings. And Santa Clarita public meeting schedule says that they should be meeting here. The sanitation district should be back in July, and we'll find out who is behind the survey that the sanitation district did to find out whether you were willing to pay for that $500 million project. So I know there's a lot of places you could be on the third Wednesday of the month besides here. I want to thank you very much again for choosing to come to the Canyon Country Advisory Committee. Thank you very much.